Hello, welcome, and good evening. Welcome to the first Freedom Reigns Block Party. We've got all kinds of exciting, fun things tonight. No business. Just rest, relax, and enjoy your neighbors. We have a lot of our hosts with us. We've got Miss Terry, and we've got Sue, and let's see, who all do we have? We've got Dr. Miola with us, and, just all kinds of people. Other hosts will be popping in as we go along. Now, Miss Terry's here, and we're just going to sit back, take it easy, have fun, and enjoy. I hope everybody's got their beverages and their snacks, and, oh, my goodness. Terry, you want to go ahead? And I know you got something really exciting that we're cooking up here. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get this party started, guys.
All right. Well, as everybody knows by now, the alternative media, meaning not mainstream, is the only source of media that isn't completely ignoring what has happened and taken place in Iceland, how it happened, why it happened, and its ramifications. For those of you who don't know, Iceland has sent the bankers packing, quite literally, and they have taken their country back, taken themselves out of the reach of the IMF, Federal Reserve, European Union, and the criminal cabal. But what a lot of people don't know is what started that. It was the ladies. It was the women of the country who had had it. They'd had enough. They surrounded their Capitol building, and keep in mind, Iceland doesn't have a population like America does, or many other countries around the world. But the women stood up, and all at the same time, they grabbed pots and pans and heavy spoons, and they began banging on those pots and pans and heavy spoons and making a huge noise. And they continued. Their elected officials cowered in their offices and didn't have the fortitude to face them. And when the elections came along, all of the criminals were not reelected. Subsequently to that, the IMF tried to trick them into offering bailouts. They offered to, I forget what it was they were going to build. I believe it was a nuclear power plant that would have produced 100 times more power than the country even had use for. And the people did not fall for the greed. They did not take the carrot. They sent them packing instead. So we've decided, just like during Woodrow Wilson's administration, when the Iron-Jawed Angels, the women, finally won the vote, and they had to sacrifice a good deal to do it, but it was the women who finally took a stand, and they proved to the men, we can take a stand, and we can make a difference. So, this coming Thursday on May 31st, we will have our own Pots and Pans Brigade, but not just in America. All the way around the world, we want you to get the information out virally. Ladies of the world, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, on Thursday, the 31st of May, at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, drop it. Grab a pot or a pan and a large metal spoon and step out on your porch, outside your job, on the sidewalk, in front of a government building, anywhere, and make a big, big noise. Let them know the women of the world are not all right with what they have in mind for our children, that we're not all right with what they have in mind for us, that we're not all right with waging endless wars for profit at the expense of the lives of our sons and daughters, death and destruction for the purpose of lining their pockets, that we're fed up and we've had enough, that we're willing to fight for what's ours, and we will never bend to the will of men with no honor, no integrity, no decency, and not enough intelligence to know when they've gone too far. Let the men who have enough intestinal fortitude to stand with their ladies join you. Make such a noise that this can be heard around the world, such a noise that even the dishonest media cannot ignore. We are wives, we are mothers, we are the keepers of family and decency. We are the world of peace, equality, love, and all that is gentle. But we are fierce and capable when threatened. Just like William Wallace, American women say this to those who presume to know what is best for us in Washington, D.C. You think the people exist to provide you with position. We say your position is this solely to protect our freedom. Do your job or get the hell out of the way. And that's next Thursday, the 31st of May at 4 p.m. Eastern. Back to you, Deatra.
All right.
What did I thought I rendered
exciting.
Everybody speechless.
No. I've got myself muted out. Kids and I are enjoying our dinner while we're having this little block party thing here.
Right,
so,
become a pots and pans terrorist, Drake says. What kind of terrorist lists are they going to put us on, Zan?
We're not allowed to cook. Come on. All of us women will know.
Well, you know what? If they object to that, we refuse to use those pots and pans for what they're intended for.
Yeah, works for me. I know a couple of individuals I wouldn't mind showing
ladies,
them
the men who would the men who would run your lives and tell you what's best for you and your children are the very same ones who depend on you to feed them and a million other things. We just don't do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Drop the baby off at the office.
Everybody's mic. There you are. What was that, Drake?
Drop the baby off at the office.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I remember once many years ago, we had a party at our apartment on a Saturday night or a Sunday night. I don't remember what night it was, and it was just horrendous. It was all my ex's friends who showed up unannounced, and they just made a complete wreck out of my house, just trashed it. And he went off to work the next morning, and I woke up and I looked at that, and I said, oh, hell no. And I gathered up my son, and I made a little picnic lunch, and I grabbed the towels and the bathing suits, and off to the pool we went, and we stayed there all day. And when he got home from work, it was exactly the way it was when he left. And he looked at me, and he said, what in the hell happened here? And I looked at him, and I said, well, you always want to know what I do all day. Guess what? I didn't do it.
Right? Oh, my goodness. Wow. Wow. Well, let's see. What have you been up to here this week, Drake? We kind of missed an interview today. Had a sick kid that I was dealing with literally all night and half of the day. So we ended up missing it.
What interview?
Apparently he missed it too.
Earlier in the week.
Do what now?
What?
I didn't hear you.
The one I told you about a week earlier this week.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, but I'm rescheduling it, so that'll all work out great. But anyway, other than that, what have you been up to this week?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I've been causing trouble.
Oh, no, typical Drake.
Yeah, there's some people that are principals in a lot of this stuff that's being done, and we're working out some of the details, and I'm getting some of the inside information as to what is intended and what these dinks think they're going to do to us when we ain't watching. So, it's fun. I also found out how we can get even, and that documentation and other things are getting ready to pop.
I like
so there are, shall we say, some real nice little star sprinklers coming.
So are you saying it's time to get the popcorn out, Drake?
I don't know if that'd go well with putting something like that in somebody's drawers or not, but that would work too.
Oh, popcorn works in the drawers if you put their butts on the stove.
That's only a draw.
Powder would work.
What did you? That's only what?
I said,
talk about uplifting.
No, I heard somebody talking back there. Was it David? He said that's only something.
That's only in its raw form. It's Minuteman.
Oh, I see. In its raw form. Okay.
Right. You know, you're going to have to put a little oil in there, and you're going to have to shake it up real good, and then set their seat on the stove.
Well, we can. I think that can be arranged.
Yeah, give them 10 or 15 minutes. I guarantee you they'll be hopping and popping.
I have to say, this is a little off color, but I loved it. I got an email earlier from a good friend, and the picture at the beginning of the email was with the use of only one of these, and it was a picture of a condom. It said, "This could have been avoided," and then there was a picture of Obama below it.
They don't got those in Africa.
Oh, I did get I got a kick out of it. A lot of our problems could have been avoided.
Yeah,
535 of them in Washington.
I started to say it'd take more than one. You'd need a truckload.
Yeah, you know, I think we were, what is that? They're mostly our age, so, you know, the baby boomers should have paid more attention to birth control. The parents of the baby boomers.
I heard a rumor that a second circumcision usually tends to defer such activities.
Ouch.
I believe it would.
Oh, boy, we never know where our
what kind of insanity goes through our minds while we're dealing with all this stuff.
Oh, exactly right. The listeners out there are going to...
The general public thinks they're crazy. They ought to see what goes on with us when we have to deal with it all.
I hear you. The listeners out there are going to get a glimpse into what happens when we have a Freedom Reigns conference call and there's nobody else listening.
I promise not to use any four-letter words other than work, you know, things like that.
No, some four-letter words are usable, like the one for attorney and politician, LIAR.
I suppose we should have recorded that last one, huh, Terry?
Yeah, that was a classic.
No. We'd all get sued.
Probably.
Well, like we discussed when we decided to do these, you know, block party calls, or shows, it's a time when you have something great to share, to raise your hand and call in. Of course,
everybody's
I'm not
scared.
running the board. Scared of what?
This is the first time we opened up the mic. Anybody wanted to say something obtuse?
Sort of like open mic night. What'd you say, Deanna?
I don't know. Terry, you're kind of a scary, intimidating person, man. I mean, geez,
I know. I'm such a threat
Gigi,
on this porch.
Gigi, I've heard rumors were you were the one that was that was your description, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was accused of being intimidating too, wasn't I? I forgot. Oh well.
What was it? We had a king, a god, a madame, and pots and pans terrorist. That's what I believe I remember from our last conversation.
Right? Yeah, it was something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was